Hey, Meals.
Hey!
What's up?
Not too much. Sitting in a basement, drinking a lot of Snapple.
Oh, cool. Tell me, what do you know about Shadowrun?
Nothing. I know nothing
Okay.
about Shadowrun.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So
I know
20
it's
plus
critically
years ago.
acclaimed.
Yeah. So Shadowrun, it's a old pen and paper RPG game.
Right.
That's over 20 years old at this point. And
This is pen and paper right here?
yeah, pen and paper. It's come a long way. Really advanced the pen and paper.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah, it's also had a pretty good history with video games, and then there's that one little blemish no one likes to
Right.
talk about. But in the last couple of years, they have been bringing back Shadowrun games on the PC. Actually, one of the guys who made it is the guy who made the pen and paper game, so you know it's good.
Okay.
And this is the third one of those. This is Hong Kong. It just came out.
Right. I've heard of the other two, and I remember some people actually describing this game to me before, and kind of telling me a bit about it, but I just didn't know what was going on. Like, is it turn-based? What is it?
So it is turn-based combat.
Okay.
It's kind of this isometric. You're going around. You have a party. You're taking tasks. So you're a Shadowrunner, and a Shadowrunner is a person. Okay, I should probably back up. It's the future, cyberpunk, but in this future there is magic. Like magic just magically came back into the world. Like it was just gone, and it came back.
Okay, so it's like magic in the sense that like I could play this game with multiplayer with like Xbox players and PC players, right? Like first-person shooter.
Yeah. There's multiple classes. No, so the it's like one day just magic just came back into the world, and then people just started mutating into elves and dwarves and orcs, and now like that's just how the world is, and it's this kind of dystopian cyberpunk future. Everything's controlled by mega corporations, and we are in Hong Kong. You play as a person who your foster father asked you to come to Hong Kong because they want your help. And you and your brother, he's not really your brother, he's kind of like, you grew up with him on the streets.
Right.
And you both get there, shit goes real bad real quick. And you end up with these Shadowrunners who are basically underground mercenaries who do like all the dirty tasks that nobody wants to do that are like super high risk.
Okay. Well, to me this looks like Haven City in Jack 2.
Yeah, so you are in the walled city right now, which is like just the scummiest place in Hong Kong, and it's just like it's really bad. Like there's this whole thing where everyone has like these shared nightmares, and you don't know why. The plot, I'm not too far in, so it like hasn't really started picked up, but it's sprinkling a lot of interesting ideas. So
Yeah.
I should probably explain what's actually happening on the screen right now. We're talking to a spirit. We had to get our IDs wiped so that we could not get traced by the cops because they were trying to murder us.
Oh, okay.
And to do that, we have to do this deal for this woman named Kindly Chang, and she wants us to go to this guy who's essentially like double-crossed her, and she just wants you to give him a message, and not in like a murder way, like an actual just like, yo, here's a message. Like specifically, she does not want you to murder people. And you can see here, so I actually switched it to high res here so that we can actually see the text better. So I'm trying to get into this base, but this guard here won't let me in. And I talked to that spirit, and he mentioned how there was an alternate path and that there's a code I needed.
Did he say I'm a local badass?
He might have.
Okay. That's really, that's funny. I'm okay with that. But,
yeah.
I wanted to say this art looks beautiful.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, no, it's all like that kind of hand painted. Just everything looks like really like crafted and unique, and they spent a lot of time on it.
And you also got the like the neon like pollution of Hong Kong.
Oh
like,
yeah.
It's super nice. I like it. These blues and these purples look so nice.
Yeah, so that guy will not let me pass. I was not able to convince him.
Do you need like a Deku stick or something like that?
So we go down into this to the area that guy told me about, and I do have the code that the spirit told me about. But because I'm a badass decker, I was like, fuck that. I'm just gonna use my sweet hacking skills to get in.
Oh, okay.
So my character's a decker, which means I can hack into the Matrix.
Okay.
Like, it's actually called the Matrix.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is it like the world's like life net or something like that? Like,
basically, yeah.
Okay.
It's like the internet, but you have like a virtual avatar you can kind of go in and interact with. So
okay.
I am going to try and get in through this sort of hatch, and I have to open it up, the deadbolt for it, and I'm gonna hack into the Matrix right here. And,
okay, this looks like Mega Man Battle Network.
So this is new-ish for this game. They had the Matrix in the other games, but a big complaint people had is that the Matrix would only be in like certain areas, and it wasn't shown that often. So being a decker kind of sucked because you didn't get to really take advantage of being a decker.
Okay.
And see, I immediately get caught. So they have a lot more of the actual Matrix in this game. And they have this new element, this stealth element, where you can kind of try to avoid these guys. And you have, at the bottom, system trace. And if I get to 90, then... Actually, I don't know what happens if I get all the way to 90, because I haven't gotten there. I imagine shit either gets really bad or it kicks me out of the system.
Okay.
That's just my guess. So I'm trying to, like, get rid of this guy before he can alert more people. I like the animation. I just kind of, like, hover. Like,
yeah, it's cool. You're in the net. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, so I'm just like... And this is my first time doing this, so I was just like,
Let's see if it's any easier in this door.
What's over here?
Oh, jeez. God, these look pretty, they are not holding your hand, huh?
No.
I mean, okay, this probably like, I mean, they're all on a path, and you can see the path.
Yeah, if you actually are like take your time to look, you can figure out like, okay, they definitely never cross. Like I figured out they don't cross right there. So as long as I'm here, I'm fine, and I just have to kind of time it right. And I think nope, yep, yeah, look at that.
Nice. You probably had your butt cheeks clenched that entire time.
Oh, definitely. So you get to this block, and you can either force it, which automatically gives you 50 tracer, which I don't want to do because that would exceed the max. So instead I want to try and hack it.
Okay.
So what you do is, at the bottom here, I have a certain amount of hack time, which is 35 seconds. And when I start this here at the on the left, it'll start like a memory game with the numbers. And when, as I do them, it'll give me more hack time.
Okay.
You see, I'm fucking it up because, like, again, they never explained it. I had to figure this out because there is a tutorial in this game that I just like kind of didn't look at. So when you hit next, it activates this, and you have to pick the actual code, and it'll kind of display like a little bit of the numbers at a time on the top. So the idea is you want to like at first sort of use the number pad on the left to give yourself as much hack time as possible so that you can then like figure it out. And I imagine it'll be, right now it's not as necessary where it's like you could probably figure it out in 30 seconds, but I imagine later those numbers will probably be like 7 or 8 and they'll be very similar, so you'll need as much time as possible.
It says Sony CTY 360.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, is that like an actual is that an actual Sony thing? Is that
Not sure.
Is that like Sony the company? Alright, yeah, so then you see here, I now have access to the deadbolts. Yeah, and then I skip ahead here and I kind of show that I got past those other guys. So there's an exotic animal dealer contract, which is a little side thing, just gives you a little pocket cash. And I also got the access code, and if I look here in my mission items, I see that it gave me a code 7881. And I was like, alright, might need that later. Are you looking up the Sony thing?
I was trying to figure out if it's a thing. I didn't find anything immediately, but I'm sure that it's a reference to something, right? Like probably some like old hacking PC or something.
Yeah. So then you see here, I get into the building, and then I can't hack into it normally, but I have that key code.
Ooh, you do have that key code, and you also have 651 yen.
It's Nien. It's yeah. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Yuan.
Yuan.
No, I have no idea. I'm just.
No. Yeah, no idea.
I'm being insensitive.
All right, so I talk to this guy and I give him a message. I'm not going to go too much. I don't show too much of the story stuff just because that's kind of the fun of the game is exploring it for yourself.
Right.
I will say, I'll explain that more in a sec. This is one thing that's actually new in this version is this thing called crew advancement, where your main party members, before you could give them different equipment, but as far as their actual abilities go, you couldn't really touch them. Now they kind of let you pick these different perks for them as they level up, which I think is pretty neat because it gives you a little bit more experience, like customizing your party.
Right.
Yeah, so this is kind of the hub world that you can kind of just like run around in. There's different, vendors and people to talk to. A lot of dialogue trees. The game hitches up there. That was actually like the video. That was an actual game itself.
Is this the Undercity in Futurama?
It's supposed to be this safe haven where cops don't come here, so you're good. This is my boat where I live.
A safe haven where cops don't come? Yeah. Okay. No. But yeah, no. I've expressed interest in these games to you specifically.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, of course, the story. Like, I think these games have really good stories. They have really good dialogue. They don't do... There's a little bit of variation in terms of, like, pathing, like, what happens, but it's mostly you're following the same path. It's kind of more like what your character picks and how your character reacts to other characters. Right. Is kind of where a lot of that comes from. This here's my computer, where I can get, like, new missions. There's also this, there's, like, a special board just for Shadowrunners on the internet that you can then look through, and you get these kind of read these dialogue, like these forum logs between them.
Okay.
There's this reoccurring joke where these one guys keep trying to do like a poetry thread, and then this admin keeps shutting it down. He's like, no, like
I'm on board.
He's like, there's this incident in 55, like we ban poetry, and then they keep trying to do it.
Yeah, I want to play Returns, I think, but
yeah,
would it be harmful to start with this?
It would only, not really. I mean, there are certain things that this has that Returns doesn't, but it's not that much different. Especially because they actually patched in a couple of like originally Returns had some like saving stuff issues where you couldn't actually like save anytime you wanted. They've actually patched that back in since, so you're good on that front.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, I guess I could talk about here. So when you're picking your party members, the orange ones here at the top are main story party members. So I can pick them at any time I want. Doesn't cost me anything.
Duncan.
He's my foster brother. At the bottom, there are these guys that actually cost money, and they're just other runners you can bring. And the idea is like, okay, if like say you need a particular guy to fill your party out that your story party members don't fill, you could bring one of them along. Typically, I always bring the story party members because A, they're free, but also you get like specific dialogue with them in the missions that you wouldn't get with just these random guys. So I really see no reason to ever bring anyone else along.
Okay. How's the depth? Like, can you walk up to just like random people and like chat them up in the game, or?
Not everybody. They'll have a little kind of bubble icon that lets you know you can talk to them.
Does anything like, because like it's a tabletop game originally, like does anything from that kind of translate directly into this? Is there any?
Definitely if you kind of look at the tree here, this is definitely taken out a lot from the tabletop game.
Right. Not
100%, but it's very similar in structure where it's like, okay, like I want to focus on intelligence because I'm a decker. I put a little bit of quickness so I can do some combat with pistols. Stuff like that.
I don't know if it's been done, but like it'd be super cool to have like this game is based on a tabletop game. You probably had a roll for all your stats, right? Like,
yeah,
it'd be cool like if like you pick the things you want to focus on and then you roll for them, and that's your starting stats. Like
that'd be interesting.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. In the game is pretty good. It's like in fiction, obviously, to the tabletop. So like if you play these games, you actually have like a pretty good understanding of the world. If you were to ever then like try and go play the tabletop game, you definitely have a leg up. So this is some of the combat here. We're fighting these spirits. This is kind of later on in the mission I picked.
So this kind of reminds me of XCOM.
It's XCOM.
Okay.
You always want to be in cover. Certain characters can do like Overwatch, you know. This guy here I just have, he is a rigger, so he has a robot, and I can use one of his turns to then give 2 turns to his robot, and he has this gun that can like give boost to his robot, and I can have the robot kind of deal damage for me.
Right on.
Duncan here is kind of my heavy hitter, so he has a machine gun. He can do a lot of damage and stuff.
These guys look like spirits. Like
they are spirits, yeah.
Like it looks like an earth spirit, a wind spirit.
Yeah, yeah. So like the magic in this game, it's not like fantasy magic like D&D. It's like spiritual magic. So obviously we're in Hong Kong, so a lot of like feng shui. Like actually, what we're doing in this mission is we're disrupting the chi in this facility, because like chi is like a quantifiable, measurable thing that actually like affects things. So like we're basically going to like this chi garden and like burning it to the ground,
right?
To like fuck them up. And then yeah, you have like these spirits. There's
these spirits aren't doing anything bad.
No, these spirits kind of suck. There's shamans. A lot of like Native American influence is in this game.
That's cool.
Which is really cool. Yeah, just I love the world of these games. Is really what draws me to these games. I mean, there's been 3 of them so far, you know, of these styles.
They've ported these to iPad too, haven't they?
They have, yes. I don't really know anyone who's played them, so I can't say, but I haven't heard anything negative about them. So
I met one guy at PAX that was playing it and that was going ape shit over it, but that's about it.
Okay. So it's probably a good port then. I imagine it would translate pretty well.
I'd hope so, at least.
But yeah, like for me, I don't think the games change that much in terms of gameplay over the course of the 3 games, but I think all of them are really unique, interesting stories. They all take place in different locations, and I love the world so much that for me, it's like I get every year or so I get to play like a really cool like 10-hour Shadowrun story.
Right.
Like, that's perfect, and I couldn't be more happy with it.
Oh,
all right,
man,
so,
I feel bad for those spirits.
Yeah, no, we just fucked them up. I don't show it, but like right after this, these mages come up and they like fuck my shit up. I had to do that fight like 5 times. This game will kick your ass.
Are these the mages?
If you're not careful. No, these are just a couple more spirits that show up.
Oh, okay.
So that about. Is there any other questions you got? We got about another minute left.
Not really. Other than how much is this?
I'm
Where
actually
can I get
here.
it?
You can get it on Steam. I'm not 100% how much it is because I did the Kickstarter. I can find out.
Oh, so you got it as a Kickstarter.
Yeah, I got it as a Kickstarter. Let's see.
Man, that art looks great.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
I am into it. See, but I do like I think I should probably start with maybe the earliest one they've done as of late.
I mean, yeah. I think they're all great stories. The first one's a murder mystery, which is really good.
I was thinking about picking up the Games for Windows Live one.
Well, if you really want to go far back, you got to get the one for the SNES.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right, yeah. That is Shadowrun.
Yeah, sweet. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
Peace.
Oh, wait, it's $20.